Hello everyone, this is Camila. Um, I'm the owner of Express Hair Extensions Inc. And first of all, I came here to thank you, all of you guys, so much for the tons of views that I had in my previous video. And I thought there was a gap that I need to talk about it. So I decided to create this new video. But of course, while I'm talking to you here, guys, so I can maximize my time, I will be preparing my hair extensions for my client tomorrow. I just needed to refill the glue. While we are talking, I'm just gonna be doing my work. So for that, I have my hair extensions. It's a lot. My, I don't know what you call this in English, spatula, yeah, which I use to melt the glue. And my glue pot. Okay, this is my glue pot. I was already using, so it's all dirty because I was already using right now before I decided to record this video. So I find there was a lot of demand of people. There was a lot of people in the video that was, I'm just here trying to learn how to make extra money, situations being tough, and I'm single, and all the history that we already know. So I identify myself a lot in this situation because I'm a single mom, I have 2 kids, and I do work very hard to not just help my kids, but as well to help my family back home in Brazil. So while I am doing this, I want to talk to you about it because there's a lot of people who comment that they're trying to start a new business or just try to make extra money from home. So I will be helping you a little bit with that. So I want to share with you guys a little bit of my own experiences and of course my knowledge. I work with hair extensions for a very long time. I actually came from a family that worked with hair extensions. My mom is who started, and that was the way that she was able to work, give us a roof over our heads, food on the table, and pay for all the things that we need. My mom, she was single as well, and she had a very tough time to raise us, and I became so passionate in love with the hair extensions industry because I saw how much suffering my mom was going through and how much she was able to do doing hair extensions. And this I'm talking to you about 30 or 20 years ago, because I'm 33. My mom started, I was 10, so 23 years ago. And it works out pretty good. Of course, today it's a little bit different from how it was years ago, but there's still a lot of opportunity on the hair industry. But I will mention to you all the mistakes that I made that I don't want you to make it, because that cost me a lot of money, time, and it slowed down my success. Okay, so first of all, when I start here in Canada doing hair extensions again, so after I got divorced, I went through a very tough time. I basically went to live on the streets. I was on the welfare for a bit and I couldn't find any place, so I was sleeping here and there. It was a horrible time in my life. And I decided to finish my accounting career that I was doing here in Canada. I finished, and unfortunately when I finished, I didn't got any good jobs. I was stuck on a minimal pay that would not even pay for my food, unfortunately. So I decided to do part-time hair extensions while I was doing accounting. I was working in an office, and I started to get really sick. I had so much back pain. I went to my doctor, and my doctor did some examination, and we discovered that I have a disease called degenerative disease of the spine, which is it destroy my spine, so it's really tough for me to be sitting for too long. And I had to quit my job, and there was like a big pressure over me, like without that a lot of money that would pay for my food. But at the same time, I was doing hair extensions on my part-time from my basement. So I decided that I need to push that harder. I studied 4 years in university for beauty cosmetology back home. So it's like, I have to push this harder. This is all I know. This is something that I'm good at it. So I decided to get back, and I work really hard to get back. To be honest, I destroy my health even more. But I will tell you why I make so much mistakes that I don't want you to do it. So while I was doing hair extensions, I was buying hair from a supplier that was quite expensive. So I would lose jobs because the client would find the hair too expensive, and they would go for somewhere that have cheaper hair quality, but the people didn't care if the quality was good enough. So mostly I would lose a client because I didn't have a good price hair to offer them, because the suppliers here in Canada is really expensive. So I decided to grab my little money that I was making. That was to pay for my living expenses. That was my mistake. I don't want you to do the same thing, because that gave me a lot of pressure and anxiety. Do you want to see what I'm doing, I guess, when I'm talking? Let me see if I can just move it around and record my hands. I don't think so, do I? I don't think so, right? So, okay. This is my pot, okay? So while I was doing my hair extensions, I would grab, let's say I would have one service and I would get $300 to $400 for that service. I would grab that $300 or $400 or whatever I take, and I would call a different hair suppliers and say, hey, I want to purchase some samples. Can you please send some samples, and I will pay you for the samples. I would receive a very good quality hair. It was amazing. So I was like, yes, I want to work with this supplier. So I would work and make my money and put it all together, like, barely pay for my bills. And I would put $3,000 to $4,000. And I would call the supplier and say, hey, I wanted you to send me a good amount of hair now, because I like your quality and I want to work with you. And the only good way that you could make a good money when you order your own hair is when you buy a large amount, because you get a better discount and you only pay for one shipping. That's the only way that could work out to make you a good income. But that was my nightmare. Every single time I would grab all my little money or fold up my credit cards to order hair, so I could offer, instead of saying to my client, hey, the hair is $600, my service is $300, so this is how much it costs. So people would like, oh, this is a lot of money. You don't have a cheaper hair, like, I am willing to pay $400, but not $600 for the hair. And my answer was like, no, I don't work with Amazon hair, because the Amazon hair quality is not good, and I work with the local suppliers and whatever. So I would lose a client, and that money really would mess on my pocket. So I decided to find a good supplier to provide my clients not cheaper quality, but a more accessible or easier for the client to pay for it. I don't know, I'm not sure the word in English, but whatever. I think you understand what I mean. I want to give them a good price so they would stay with me. That was my mistake, because I lost so much money. And you know what? If I just had grabbed that money, the money that I lost, and I had focused that money on marketing my service for a class that would have that money for pay for, instead of be looking for those clients that could afford pay for a service. Would you like getting cheaper hair, so I would get all the cheap clients. I would have done, like, if I had my mind like as I have today, I would have focused that money on advertisement to make my brand be a luxury brand as a hair extensions technician, and be able to catch all the clients that actually can pay for our service. A little bit closer again because the audio wasn't very good. So going back to what I was saying, so I want to help you to start your hair extensions business as I did, as there is a lot of women in the same situation that I was a few years ago. And I want to just be able to help people out, And of course, if I am able to help you out, it's going to grow my account on YouTube. That's going to help my brand as well. So like we are helping each other in the same speed. So getting back to the hair extensions, I would not suggest you to, in the beginning, say like thinking about, oh, I want to be able to provide the hair to my clients. So I want to find a supplier that they'd sell me wholesale price so I can offer to my client. And I will tell you why. If I didn't have done that mistake, I would use my money for something smarter. But I would do it today. Right? So what happened is when you invest $5,000 on hair, those $5,000 you would take a big risk of like $1,000 be good and another $4,000 be garbage. And you imagine every single client calling you to say, hey, your hair is shit. Your hair is not good. I don't like the quality. And I'm not happy. I want my money back. If you don't give my money back, I'm going to talk about you to everybody. I'm going to give you bad reviews. I'm going to make you not have any more clients. So you want to avoid that, right? So I had those troubles few times, but as soon as the clients tell me like, hey, this hair is not good, I would put on my credit card a new set, a new hair to return to that client. And if the person would not take a risk of getting the hair from me again, because they can say like, oh no, your hair was bad in the first time, it's going to be bad in the second time, so I don't want to do that. So I decided to, okay, so, I'll give back the cash, which is very painful because I didn't have that profit. I had to take from my pocket, and it's terrible. So nowadays I'm pretty happy with the clients that I have. I have a very hard work to be where I am today. I am very careful with what I do. I do dedicate myself a lot. So I want to give you some tips on how to build your hair extensions. So first of all, when you decided to open your hair extensions or start your small business from home, I would suggest you to have at your house a place that it's separated from your house. Like you can just make divisions with something, but you need to have that separate area, because you don't want to like just people be looking around in your house what you have, what you don't have, or like that can make you feel uncomfortable. At least for me it would. Plus you want to have some privacy, and the most important of all, you don't want the hair running around in your house and making your house nasty, so that it's terrible when you have everything in just one place, the hair, the kitchen, everything mixing. It's not really, doesn't give a good looking, right? So if you do in the beginning, make sure it's a very short period, so just you can build up yourself. And then right away, I suggest you to find a place that you can work and have it separated. Second, your prices. Try to look around the prices that you have where you live, like asking how much is to install, whatever. And then what you can do, ask your family or friends. The practice, it's everything, guys. Like practice is everything. ask your friends and family to just buy the hair. It doesn't need to be great quality hair because it's just the person is for it person might stay for 1 month or whatever. So if they can just buy a hair so that you can do the install for free for them, and that would give you a lot of practice. And start to doing that at least once a week. Get one free client every week for at least in the first 3 months. Get every week a free client, even though if you start to be very confident and you start to make good money, you want to keep doing that because practice make it perfect. Okay, you want to keep doing that so you can keep growing your speed, and you can make it faster and every time better and better looking, and correcting all your mistakes, because trust me, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes in the beginning. It's very normal. Nobody gonna know everything from the beginning, right? But I can tell you, once you keep practicing, you're gonna be much better. I used to do that a lot. I used to get a lot of free people just paying for the hair. Sometimes I was even paid for the hair, honestly, because I was so like, I believe on me. I know I'm gonna make it. I know I'm gonna do it. So I'll pay for the hair because I know this video I'm gonna be posting online, and this video gonna give me return, and then I'm gonna make a good money. So I believe in myself so much that to that point that I would say, look, I will even pay for the hair. I pay for everything. Just let me use your head, which I don't suggest anyone do that because time is really tough right now, and it's been one of the toughest time that we gonna going through because of the crazy things that's going around the world. I'm not even talk about it, but I would suggest to you to do it that way, okay? And I find a lot of people saying like, hey, I can't do this, how should I do this? I honestly would tell you one thing. I know you might not having money to pay for a course right now, or you're just struggling to make ends meet, and you just trying to find a way to make money. I can tell you one thing. You can even try to do it, like doing some extra money without knowing what you're doing, but that's gonna ruin your chance and your reputation. So just make sure you learn well what you're gonna do, and make sure you choose a good teacher to teach you, because there's a lot of people who are selling services and they have no idea what they're doing. I promise to you. I have seen so many cases, and then it's so unfair because those people don't have any respect for other people's, because the hair touches your emotional. So it's so unfair when people do that, and it's very sad that people were capable to betray, lie, and do anything for just money. I know people are starving. I know people are really having a hard time, but most of those people, they're not people who are starving. There are people who have have other things that can do. There's other opportunities, but they just find out that was the easy ways that they could make the money. There's some stupid people over there that would pay for it, unfortunately, and they grow up so quick, so fast, but they have no idea what they're doing. They are even actually offering trainings for other people, but they are not good enough even for themselves, trust me. But anyways, we're not here to talk bad about people. I'm just here to talk about what can you do to start your business and what mistakes you should avoid. So another mistake that you should avoid is, change suppliers constantly. Because if you keep changing suppliers constantly, the quality will be unstable. And that's another thing. Stay with one supplier does not mean that the quality gonna be stable, because even your own regular supplier can make mistakes, can do things wrongly, and you get disappointed, your client get disappointed, and it's really tough. So I would suggest you Find a good hair supplier that has a very stable quality. Don't forget, now we have a very good supplier. We offer hair, we sell hair for other hair extensions technician, and that's why we're going to be offering trainings for free through YouTube, so you can actually buy the hair from our company and we can be good partners and work together. So we're going to be talking a lot more, and then I will explain all the hair extensions, all the tricks, and everything you need to know to start your own business and be successful. Okay, don't worry, I'm here to help, and I guess I will be waiting all your questions to make more videos.